Well, of course, first of all, Malaysia has a track record of, as far as LNG is concerned, being a very reliable and major supplier for LNG. It started its initial shipment back in 1983, which means it has more than 30 years experience in the LNG market itself. Also, geographically, Malaysia is located quite favorably to the main markets of Japan, Korea, China, Taiwan. And in terms of this proximity, coupled with the past record of stability of supply and the infrastructure that Malaysia already has, whether it be in Bintulu or the regas terminal in Malacca, or the new one planned in Pengerang, I think Malaysia is in many aspects one step, two steps ahead compared to the other countries as far as LNG supply is concerned. When you talk about LNG hub, as I said, we have Petronas already has Bintulu, it has Pengerang, and before trying to become a hub, one of the things that I think Malaysia still needs to look at is to satisfy its domestic requirements, not only for electricity but for gas as well. With the current rate of growth of electricity in Malaysia and gas as well, from anywhere between 8 to 10%, I think what is initially important is to come up with an answer as to how best to satisfy the ever-growing needs of the domestic market. Yes, but upon which, once that is finalized, I think with all the expertise and the experience that Malaysia has in the past, it stands a very good chance of becoming a hub here in the Southeast Asian region. Malaysia currently exports about 25 million tons of LNG per year, and a large portion of course, on long-term basis. But due to the fact that the worldwide, the consumers of LNG are becoming less confident on what is going to be the market for the future. There's a tendency nowadays for these LNG buyers to buy LNG on short-term basis and in smaller quantities as well, because they themselves are not sure of what is going to happen in the future. Of course, the global economy is quite unclear at this current moment. We do not have the so-called BRICS, which were at one time considered to be the engine of the worldwide economy. If you look at Japan, there's a great deal of deregulation going on in the electricity and the gas market as well, which has prompted these buyers to think in lesser terms and smaller volumes. Yes. So in that sense, what used to be only a 10% market, LNG trading, I think even in Japan it has currently reached around 25%, and I think that tendency will further grow. However, I do not think that it will reach an extent of that of oil, whereby the liquidity or the fluidity of the market is and will be quite more compared to what you see in LNG, due to the characteristics of the fuel, as well as the heavy investment that is required when you come up with an LNG project.